yesterday about the cell potential of the cell. Okay, so some question had left. Already I have done so many questions yesterday. I have solved so many questions on the cell potential. But apart from that question, I am letting you to solve some more questions regarding cell potential so that you will get more dexterity in this topic. Okay, so here I have written over the question which is the strongest oxidizing agent. I will tell you how we will calculate the how will we judge the which will be the best strongest oxidizing agent. According to this question here, K2Cr2 solution is given in which the concentration of different ions is given, as well as here the KMnO4 solution is given in which the concentration of MnO4, Mn2 plus and H plus ion is given. The standard electrode potential is also given, and according to this data we have to search which will be K2Cr2 solution will be the strongest oxidizing agent or KMnO4 will be the strongest oxidizing agent. So for the solution of this particular question, if you will see this is K2Cr2 solution, just you have to see these things. Okay. Now, according to K2Cr2, if you will write the redox reaction for this, then just definitely you can write it from this way. Cr2O7 2 minus will be getting converted into Cr3 plus. Now, you all know the balancing of redox reaction. How will you balance the redox reaction? I am just letting you to understand how will you balance the redox reaction. Just understand the main element is chromium, so you have to multiply with 2. First multiply the main atoms. Okay, so chromium is balanced. Now for the balancing of oxygen, what will you do in the acidic medium? Generally the question will be asked in the acidic medium, and already you can see this is given, concentration of H plus ion is given. From there you can recognize that this is the acidic medium reaction, so you have to balance in the acidic medium. Okay, so I am letting it balance in the acidic reaction. Okay, now suppose here there is 7 oxygen atom in this left side, so you have to add 7 water molecules in the right side. Now you have added 7 water molecules in right side, then what will you do? Here is 14 hydrogen atom. Okay, so if you balance this reaction in acidic medium, then you have to multiply with 7H2 in right hand side. Now you have multiplied with 7H2 in right hand side, then just think about that. There is 7 hydrogen in right hand side, then you have to add 14 H plus because this reaction is in the acidic medium, so just add 14 H plus. Now here you see there is 6 positive charge, and here you see 14 positive charge minus 2 means 12 positive charge. Now here you have to add 6 electrons. Okay, so in this way we will balance this redox reaction. Now on the STEM one, here the reduction potential, standard reduction potential of Cr2O7 to Cr3 plus is given is 1.1. And already I have discussed the Nernst equation. Nernst equation is E cell is equals to E naught cell, and since this reaction is occurring at standard condition, if nothing is given in the question, just you have to understand this reaction will be occurring in the standard condition. And already I have told you what is the standard condition regarding temperature. That temperature must be 298 Kelvin, means room temperature 25 degrees centigrade. So here you can write 0.059 upon n ln q. Okay. This thing is given. Now, what was the value of n? So n will be the n factor. So n factor for this reaction is 6. So just you substitute here. Then you can write E cell is equals to E naught cell. E naught cell is given 1.33 volt minus 0.059 upon 6 ln q. If you will calculate the value of q, then here you can write the value of q for this reaction is equals to concentration of Cr3 plus का whole square upon concentration of Cr2O7 2 minus multiplied with concentration of H plus का whole to the power 14. This will be the value of Q. Now substitute all these value here. So I am writing concentration of Cr3 plus का whole square upon concentration of Cr2O7 2 minus multiplied with concentration of H plus का whole to the power 14. After substituting, you can get 0.059 upon 6 ln. Now concentration of Cr3 plus ion is given like that minus 2. It will become 10 to the power minus 4 upon concentration of Cr2O7 is given is equals to 0.1. Just multiply in 0.1. Now concentration of H plus is given 10 to the power minus 1. So it will become 10 to the power minus 14. Now just solve it. Okay. After solving, what you will get a value of 1.22 volt. Value of E cell. Now come to this point. For the KMnO4 solution, now if you will see, then the reaction is given in this way. Okay, MnO4 minus is getting converted into Mn2 plus. My dear student, just you have to calculate the oxidation state of manganese in left hand side, because in right hand side the oxidation state of manganese is +2. Okay. Now here you have to calculate the oxidation state of manganese, and this is one of the most important thing. Just calculate this thing. Okay. Now how will we calculate? Just assume it. Suppose the oxidation state of manganese is x minus oxidation state of oxygen is -2. If you will multiply it with 4, then -8 is equals to 1. So x is equals to +7. So you have got the oxidation state of manganese in here +7. Okay. Now what you have to do, understand one thing. If you calculate the n factor, you can calculate it directly also. But I am just letting you to understand the basic concept again. How will we balance the reactions? After balancing, how will we calculate the n factor of this reaction? So here oxygen is 4. In right hand side oxygen is 0. Just multiply it with 4H2 because you are balancing the reaction in acidic medium. So I am multiplying with 4H2 now. In the right hand side, if you will see, then here there is 8 hydrogen. So just multiply with 8 hydrogen H plus ion in this side, the left hand side. Why? Because in right hand side there is 8 hydrogen ions. So you have to multiply with 8H plus. Now understand one thing. Here there is 2 positive charge in right hand side, and in left hand side if you will add 8 plus here and 1 minus here, so you will get 7 positive charge in left hand side. Okay. Now if there is 7 positive charge in left hand side and here 5 positive charge, so you have to make it add a 5 electrons in the left hand side. Okay. So in this way you have calculated the value of n factor for this particular reaction. Okay. Now apply Nernst equation. If you will apply Nernst equation, E cell that will be equals to E naught cell minus 0.059 upon n multiplied with log Q. Now for this particular reaction, what will be the value of reaction coefficient? Okay. So I am just calculating the reaction coefficient here. So Q will be equal to concentration of Mn2 plus upon concentration of MnO4 minus into concentration of H plus to the power 8. And all the value has been given in the question. Concentration of Mn2 plus is 10 to the power minus 2 upon concentration of MnO4 minus is 10 to the power minus 1 multiplied with concentration of H plus is given, that is equals to 10 to the power minus 2. So 10 to the power minus 16. Okay. Now if you will calculate this value, then you will get the value of 1.33 volt. Okay. Then just understand one thing. Already in my previous lecture I have discussed the substance which are having higher reduction potential, then that will be act as a better oxidizing agent. Higher reduction potential substance, the substance which will have a higher reduction potential, that will act as a better oxidizing agent. So after solving this numerical, we have got the oxidation potential, reduction potential for Cr2O7 is 1.22 volt and the reduction potential of KMnO4 is 1.33 volt. So KMnO4 will be working as a better oxidizing agent, and you all know about the KMnO4 is a better oxidizing agent in the acidic medium. So KMnO4, this time writing here, KMnO4 is a better oxidizing agent, and in this way you can calculate this value according to the electrochemistry if cell potential concentration of all ions will be given. Okay. So my dear student, I am just going to discuss about the concentration cell. Okay. So many questions used to ask in JEE Mains and advanced from the concentration cell. Okay. So it's basic things you don't have to do. Already I have teach you everything regarding this. Just if we special types of cell in which we are going to place the same types of metal in same types of electrolytic solution but different concentration. Why the name is concentration cell? Because same types of metal is going to place in the electrolytic solution having different concentration. Just write on the extent. I am just going to make a reduction half cell and oxidation half cell. Okay. Here I am putting Ag as a metal. Here also the reduction cathode will be also Ag. Here cathode is also Ag and anode is also Ag. Why? Because same types of material you have to place same types of electrode or metals in a different electrolytic solution. That's why the name is called as the concentration cell. Here we are also placing the electrolytic solution. Here the concentration of electrolytic solution is A2 molar and here concentration of electrolytic solution is A1 molar. This is the different concentration of electrolytic solution. and I am just putting a galvanometer here after the connection of the circuit. My dear student, here there must be a salt bridge, because I am just not going to show the salt bridge in this particular diagram because the diagram becomes very bulky. So I am just skipping the salt bridge, but you have to understand the salt bridge will be obligatory for the completion of the circuit. Okay. Now understand one thing. Here the concentration of both the electrolytic solution is different, and same types of electrode is getting placed in the different concentration of electrolytic solution. That's why the name is called as the concentration cell. Okay. Now how will we calculate the concentration cell potential of this electrolytic solution? First, before going to discuss the cell potential, just I am giving you the notation of the cell. How will you write in the notation of the cell? So here this is oxidation half cell. So just make the salt bridge here. And after making the salt bridge, I have already discussed about the notation of the cell. You have to place the anode left in the left side of the salt bridge. So in anode, what will happen? The oxidation reaction takes place. So Ag solid will be getting converted into Ag plus in aqueous solution. This will be the notation of anode. Now for the notation of cathode, what will happen? Ag plus from aqueous solution will be getting converted into Ag. And this is the notation of cell. I am just writing cell notation. And this is important thing. This is important thing how we notate the cell. Now here I have written aqueous solution. So I am written concentration is here AM1 and here concentration will be A2. Now I am writing the cell reaction. So cell reaction. Cell reaction will be if Ag solid will be getting converted into Ag plus, and I am writing concentration is 1 molar, and this is a oxidation reaction. Why? Because Ag was in 0 and it is getting converted into Ag plus. The oxidation state of Ag is getting increased. That's why it is called as the oxidation reaction, and oxidation reaction takes place at the anode. So this reaction will be taking at anode. Now I am writing the cathodic reaction. If you will see, so Ag plus having concentration A2 will be getting converted into Ag0, and this reaction is called as a reduction reaction. These two reactions I have written over here. Now if you balance the reaction, then you have to add one electron. Now these two electrons will get cancelled out, and after addition you will get the full cell reaction. Ag0 from solid plus Ag plus having concentration A2 will be getting converted into Ag plus having concentration A1 plus Ag0 having solid. Okay, this is the full cell reaction. If you see, this is full cell reaction. Now after writing full cell reaction, you have to calculate the inert cell. Now before going to this, I am just writing here Q value. Reaction constant of this reaction is equal to concentration of Ag plus. Here concentration of Ag plus is A1. So I am just writing here A1 upon A2. You have written this. Now n factor for this reaction is 1, because why? Because we are adding only one electron either in both the side of the reaction. So if you will write E cell is equals to inert cell minus 0.059 upon n ln q, log q. Now the value of inert cell, my dear student, if you will see the value of inert cell, that is equals to a standard reduction potential of cathode minus a standard reduction potential of anode. And here cathode and anode both are the same substance, so it will become 0. So E cell will become 0. Now if you will see, E cell is equals to minus of 0.059 upon n log q. If you write q is equals to A1 by A2. Now, my dear student, here you have to focus on one more important concept. Here, if you will see, the E cell of the value, the cell potential of the reaction is equals to minus 0.059 upon n log A1 by A2. Okay. So, if you will see here, A1 by A2. So, first of all, you have to understand the cell potential of cell can never be negative. If it is negative, then the spontaneous reaction won't occur in the cell. Why? Because if you will see, the already I have discussed delta G naught is equal to minus NF E naught of cell. If E naught cell will be negative, then what will happen? Delta G naught will become positive 0. And for a spontaneous chemical reaction, it's not possible that the Gibbs energy for a spontaneous chemical reaction will be greater than 0. It should be less than 0. Then the reaction will be feasible in the forward direction. And our ultimate goal is to to generate the electricity from the spontaneous redox reaction. If delta G becomes greater than 0, then definitely the reaction will be non-spontaneous and it will never generate a spontaneous electric current. So inert cell, मतलब standard reduction potential of cell can never becomes negative. So here, if you will see here, this is formula. In this formula, there is a negative sign. So you have to take the concentration in this way. So A1 should be less than A2. If A1 will be less than A2, then this log term becomes negative and negative becomes positive. So if you are going to write E cell is equals to minus 0.059 upon n log A1 by A2, and its obligation here that A1 should be less than A2. Otherwise this cell won't work and this cell won't produce electricity continuously because delta G becomes positive and it's not feasible for any spontaneous physical chemical reaction. Okay. So this was the part of spontaneous chemical reaction. Again, I am going to discuss about the thermodynamics of the cell. Okay. So my dear student, I am going to discuss about the thermodynamics of cell potential, and it is one of the most important concept for the IIT advanced point of view because from this topic one question had been asked in JEE Advanced. Okay, so this is nothing, already you all have studied about the Gibbs energy of the cell potential of the cell. So we have to correlate spontaneous delta G entropy of the cell. We will be calculating the enthalpy of the cell, Gibbs energy of the cell, and entropy of the cell. So because it will play a crucial role for the cell potential because the whole cell potential reaction or the whole chemical reaction depends on the value of Gibbs energy. If you will see here, then already I have discussed you yesterday कि if cell is producing any electricity or electric current, then definitely the cell will be working. Okay, and for working of the cell, they will be producing a certain amount of work, and what will be the work produced by the cell, we will be calculating in this topic. So W max, already I have discussed you delta G naught of cell is equals to minus of NF E of cell, that is equals to delta G, this energy of the cell. And in the previous section already I have discussed what is delta G. The delta G मतलब Gibbs energy of any cell, I am just defining it in the for the point of view of the cell only. If delta G cell Gibbs energy of the cell is the maximum amount of work that can be produced by a cell. Okay, so if you will see here W max means maximum amount of work that can be produced by a galvanic cell, that is equals to minus of delta G. This is the maximum amount of work that can be. If question is asking about calculate the maximum amount of work that can be produced by a galvanic cell, that will be equals to minus of delta G, and you all know the value of delta G is equals to minus of NFE of cell, that is equals to NFE cell. So W max मतलब work that produced by maximum work that can be produced by a galvanic cell is equals to NFE of cell, that you have to calculate. Okay, so here already you know the significance of N, significance of E, and significance of all F. I am not going to discuss the significance of all these three things because already I have solved so many numericals on this topic. So if in the question you have to the examiner is asking about the calculate the maximum amount of work that can be produced by electrolytic galvanic cell, that is equals to W max, that is equals to NFE of cell. Okay, now just understand one thing. You have calculated, you all have studied the first law of thermodynamics in thermodynamics. Okay, so if you will write first law of thermodynamics, then that is equals to du. Du is equals to Q minus W. Q minus W. Here, just don't try to write dQ minus dW because Q and W, it is not a property of the system. Okay, so it is an inexact differential. ये full differential नहीं होगा. That's why you can't write dQ minus dW. Okay, so it is an inexact differential. Or if you want to write, then you can write this in this way: dQ. This is d. Just you have to show in this way. This is an inexact differential minus dW in this way because it shows that Q and W, it's not a property of the system. So it is an inexact differential. Okay. Now understand one thing. How will we calculating the value of entropy and enthalpy for a galvanic cell. So from the Gibbs unary formula, G is equals to H minus Ts. Okay, G is equals to H minus Ts, and my dear student, the value of enthalpy H is equals to U plus PV, you all know. So just substitute this value here. So if you will write dg is equals to d of U plus PV minus d of Ts. So if you will write dg is equals to du plus PdV plus VdP minus TdS minus SVD. The formula becomes like that. Now understand one thing. Already I have defined you. We will be this any cell potential or any chemical reaction which is occurring in a galvanic cell, that will be occurring at a constant temperature and constant pressure. So if you will understand, so at constant pressure, because this is one of the most important formula. So remember this formula, because this is you have to remember these things and you have to go in this way. So at constant pressure, the term dDP equals to 0. At constant temperature, the term SDT is equals to 0. Then this formula becomes dC is equals to du plus PdV minus TdS. Okay. Now, according to the first law of thermodynamics, my dear student, we all know du plus PdV. Du plus PdV work, that will be equals to dq. So if you want to write here, then dg equals to dq minus TdS. dq minus TdS. The formula becomes like that. Okay. Now, understand one thing. What will happen here? At constant temperature, du becomes 0, because this is a function of, for ideal gas generally, if you will assume that it will become 0. Now understand, at constant temperature and constant pressure, the reaction will become dg, that is equals to minus of TdS. Okay, dg is equals to minus of TdS, and the term SDT becomes 0, and here this term is TdS. TdS is here. Now if you will see here, then dg, that is equals to minus of TdS. Okay. Now if you want to calculate ds, then ds is equals to dg upon minus t. Okay, dg upon minus t. Now understand one thing. So from here you can write dg is equals to minus of sdt, and s is equals to minus of dg upon dt. Now we all know the formula of dg, and dg is equals to NFE. So if you will write g is equals to NFE minus of NFE. So if you will write here, then s is equals to minus d of NFE minus upon dt. So if you will see, delta s is equals to minus minus plus NF d of E cell upon dt. So you don't need to focus on the derivation part, just you have to remember this a small formula. Delta S of the cell, entropy of the cell, I am writing entropy. Entropy of the cell is equals to n factor of reaction multiplied with F multiplied with dE cell by dt. Now, so many books used to write dE cell upon dt is equals to temperature coefficient of the cell. Temperature coefficient of the cell. So if in the question is given about the number of moles is given, for the number of moles of electron for the exchange of reaction is given, F is given, and the temperature coefficient of the cell is given, then you have to use this formula. ds is equals to NF of dE cell by dt. Okay, so we have already calculated the value of delta S of the cell. Now understand one thing, how will we calculate the enthalpy of the cell? Okay, so enthalpy of the cell reaction can be calculated with the help of again this formula. Already we have calculated the value of delta S of the cell. So if you will be writing delta T is equals to delta H minus T delta S. Okay, delta T is equals to minus of NFE of cell is equals to delta H minus T. If you want to write delta S, then delta S is equals to NF dE of cell upon dt. So if you will calculate delta H is equals to T into NF dE cell upon dt plus NF E of cell. If you want to write this in the categorical form, then it will become delta H is equals to NF of E cell minus it will become positive and it will become minus. So it will become T NF dE cell upon dt minus NF E cell. In this way, you can calculate temperature coefficient of the cell will be given, temperature at which the cell reaction is acting, that will be given, number of moles you can calculate it easily, very easily. So you can write it delta H that will becomes NF T dE cell upon dt minus of E cell. So final formula becomes like that. So delta H you can calculate from this formula itself. Okay. So these types of only derivation. If you have remembered the value of delta H and delta G and delta S, then you will be able to solve the formula for delta H. Okay. It's not going to be very difficult. Now, sometimes the question can be asked about the how you calculate the Cp of the chemical reaction which is occurring in the electrolytic galvanic cell. So I am just deriving the formula of Cp. So Cp specific heat capacity of the cell. So already we all know if a chemical reaction is happening at a constant pressure, then the enthalpy change is called as the enthalpy of reaction. Enthalpy change is defined as delta H. Okay, or heat content of that particular reaction is defined as the enthalpy change delta H. Okay, at a constant pressure, delta H is equals to Cp dt. If you will be writing value of Cp, that is equals to dH upon dt. And already we have defined the value of delta H. Delta H is equals to NF T dE cell upon dt minus E cell. So if you will substitute this formula here, then Cp is equals to d by dt of NF T dE cell by dt minus E cell. This formula becomes like that. So if you will write it this way, then NF d2 NFT d2 E cell upon dt2 plus NF dE cell by dt minus NF dE cell by dt. So this will get cancelled out, and after you will get a symmetrical formula of NFT d2 of E cell upon dt. This is second derivative of E cell, cell potential with respect to time dt2 will have. So you have calculated the value of Cp. So my dear student, already we have calculated, discussed here the cell potential, work, the maximum work done by a cell, gas to energy change, entropy change of the cell, enthalpy change. How we will calculate the specific heat capacity that of the cell reactions. Okay, so this formula becomes NFT of d2 E cell by dt2. So just go through all these formula. Just you don't have to focus on the derivation part. Just go to the only final result. If you have remembered the final result, then the question will be asked from the final result only. Okay, so it's enough for today. So in the next class, I will be discussing about the Faraday's law. So electrolysis. From the next lecture, I will be discussing about the electrolysis, and I will be solving so many questions from Faraday's first law and second law. Okay. So thanks for today. Okay.